Over the years as a YouTuber, a lot of people ask me, whether it's like family members or friends, people who want to start a YouTube channel, they always ask me the same thing. How do you get started? Am dumb, don't know how to computer record video. So I thought I'd make a video kind of giving my experience and what I think could work. Just stuff that I've done in the past that maybe has worked, stuff that hasn't worked, just a general, I guess, guide from just experience from doing this for almost, what, 8 or 9 years now? Now, videos like these are typically made by people that have a lot more subscribers than me. My channel, GoldMine, if you know who I am, it's not a big channel, but I have been a full-time content creator for years now. But even people who make these videos, there's no secret sauce. There's just tips from experience, things that you can tweak, things that you may not have considered, especially if you've never been in this environment. And hearing it from someone who's been in this environment for years, almost 10 years now, can be important to hear their perspective on. So I'd say the first thing you need to think about if you're making a channel is a good name. You need to actually have a good name. If things go better than expected, or even if they don't, having a good brand name is kind of important. It just makes things easier overall. Having a unique, good name, it's gonna help you out in the end. Also think about the name for your channel has to be relevant to the type of content you're gonna be making. This can obviously vary depending on the type of content you make. For example, if you make your name like Master Chief 574, again, trash name in general, but if it's something revolving around Halo and then you don't make Halo content anymore, not really that smart. Also, just try to avoid rebranding in general. It's human nature for people to not like change. So when you change your entire identity, your entire name, a lot of people probably won't like that. There's websites that are name checkers. So whenever you're looking for a specific name, it'll check to see if, obviously YouTube, but all of the other social medias, Twitter, Instagram, all that, to see if that name is available on those social media platforms as well. Preferably, you would like to have a name that you have access or the ability to get that name on all those platforms. It just makes it easier overall. The guy who has my name on Twitter blocked me because I think I said I was coming for that name, and he was like, nah, blocked. The next tip I'd have is put clothes on your channel, and what I mean by that is get graphics. No one's gonna take you seriously if you just have default nothing in your avatar or your banner. You can easily find cheap and decent graphics on Twitter, especially if you just tweet out, hey, I need graphics. People will message you all the time. You obviously need a logo for your brand, so you have something for people to be like, hey, that is this person. An intro, maybe an outro for your videos as well. Pretty basic stuff in my opinion. And of course, you're gonna have to spend a little bit of money here, but once you have that and you have the face of your channel, your logo, your branding created, then a lot of that groundwork, it's done and you don't have to mess with it for a while. Stay in your own lane. This one I've struggled with over the years, but essentially what I mean by this is don't switch up your content too drastically and by too much. A good example of this is whenever I on GoldMine, my main channel, years ago, when all the only content that I focused on was like Minecraft content. That's what people subscribed to me for, was Minecraft content. Whenever I completely quit that game and I stopped making Minecraft content, I lost a lot of subscribers, I lost a lot of my viewer base, and I had to build up a different viewer base for the new content that I was making, because people subscribed for Minecraft content. You don't want to switch up too quickly and too drastically. You can make other content, and I do recommend that. You don't want to continue doing the same stuff over and over for years. You're just going to lose your viewer base at that point. People are going to get bored, but implement new stuff that you want to do slowly. Maybe a video here, a video there, but don't just go from, all right, all Minecraft to, all right, now we're playing Fortnite. Something that's really annoying, and I've gotten this comment and DMs about this personally in the past, and it shocked me. I couldn't believe what these people were saying. You don't need god tier equipment in the beginning, especially in the beginning. And the messages that I would get blow my mind, in the sense of they would literally say stuff like, I have all this good gear, I spent, you know, $3,000, I got like a $1,500 gaming PC, I have a good mic, I have a good camera, all this, why am I not getting subscribers and views? If you put a $50,000 camera and a $1,000 microphone in front of someone who's boring as shit, no one's gonna watch. I don't know why this isn't common sense, but especially with pretty much every channel on YouTube, even the biggest channel in the world, PewDiePie, he didn't start out with an insane setup. He didn't even have a webcam back in the day. The other piece of advice I'd give you is don't cheap out too much. I kind of said this in the beginning when we were talking about a good name to think about for your channel, but something you really need to think about is the type of content you're going to be creating on the channel. What I mean by this is something that's unique. You shouldn't really just be doing what everyone else is doing. You need to think of videos that will be interesting for people, something that people will actually want to watch. Don't just copy videos and be like, all right, copy, paste my video. Literally what I'm doing, but it's fine. The difference here is I'm giving my perspective, my experience from a YouTuber that's been doing this for years. I might not be, you know, a massive YouTuber with 1 million subs, but again, perspective, hearing other people's views, their experiences, stuff like that is really important, especially when you're making your own channel and you haven't even started yet. These are kind of givens, but you need to make relevant, interesting thumbnails. What I mean by relevant is they need to be, it has to be more clickbaity, and it has to just be with the times, if that makes sense. Interesting, eye-popping, something that will catch an individual's eye to where they'll actually watch the video. Same with having good titles for the video. The reason being is the thumbnail and the title are the first two things and the only things that a viewer is going to see in the beginning before they actually click the video. Those are the most two important things that you need to think about for a video. If you have a really good video and you title it not very good and the thumbnail is just boring, no one's gonna know it's a good video because they're not gonna be enticed enough to click on the video to actually watch it. So thinking of a good video is just as important as thinking of a good thumbnail and title. This is a good segue that goes into metadata. Metadata is extremely important, especially in 2019, coming up in 2020. YouTube is extremely algorithm dependent now, and what I mean by that is if you're not on the side of the algorithm, then you're kind of screwed. Take me as an example. The only reason why I get views on my channel is because I have an audience that I've been building up for years. I have a pretty dedicated audience, but I don't get a lot of new subscribers because I'm not advertiser friendly. I get demonetized. I don't get put in recommended because of these things. I'm not something that the algorithm is catching and putting into the system for people to discover me as easily as some other people that are family friendly and advertiser friendly. Good search words that people search a lot for, if that makes sense. Again, more info down below in the description. And here's the boring shit you already know, but I think you should hear regardless. Be consistent. This kind of appeals to the algorithm, obviously, and to your viewers. Being consistent, making a video preferably once a day, every day, will help you out a lot in the end. The algorithm loves this type of content, especially if it's 10+ minutes. Regardless of that, though, just having more content out there for your viewers to watch, it's a good thing. On top of just having a lot of videos out on your channel, it gives you more opportunities for new people to come in, like your content, maybe subscribe. Obviously, be unique. This is easier said than done. This kind of goes back to the whole don't just copy and paste videos. Don't stick to one format, so just don't make one type of video. You can start out with a type of video, especially if it's a format that's blowing your channel up, that can build the foundation for you, but you don't want to continue to just only make that type of video or content because people will just get bored after a while. You have to actually diversify yourself and figure out what's good and what's not good. Figure out what your fan base is into, essentially. Love the process. This is something that I struggle with all the time. I hate editing sometimes. There are days where I'm super into a video and all I want to do is create. I'm super inspired and I'll edit like crazy, and then maybe the next day I won't even want to look at Sony Vegas. I want to throw up. Please get me out. Just have the right intentions. If you're looking for fame and money, you're not gonna get it. If that's pretty much the only reason why you're on YouTube or making videos, you have to actually enjoy this. This is a hobby thing that can turn into a job. if you actually take it seriously. Viewers are going to figure out your intentions pretty quick, and they will leave very quick. Do it for fun. The most important one, I'd say, is to be patient. This isn't something that's gonna come overnight. Even if you see people that blow up pretty quick, maybe from 50,000 to 1 million subscribers overnight, there's a reason for that. They worked hard for it, or they just abused the algorithm, but they're gonna blow up and then they're going to die just as quick as they blew up. Regardless, be patient, continue to do your thing, continue to make videos, continue to improve. If you make videos for 4 months and then you just quit, you could have been 20 days away from making a video that could explode to 1 million views and could be that starting point for you to become a big YouTuber. Now let's talk about the shit you shouldn't do. Don't advertise your channel, especially don't spam people on social media or in comments of videos. You're just... One, you're not gonna get anywhere with it. You're just gonna look like an idiot. Two, even if you get subscribers, another method being sub for sub, where if you subscribe to my channel, I'll sub to you back. Sure, you may get some subscribers, but no one's gonna watch your videos, and the number really doesn't matter. It's the actual audience that you have, the people who care about you and care about your personality and want to watch and support you. So again, if you only care about fame, attention, money, all that stuff, it's not gonna work out. You may have a higher number in the end, but you're gonna still get 10 views a video. God, it's like the people who like, can I have 100,000 subscribers with no videos challenge? Why? So you can sell the account and get $100? No one cares. A misconception that I see that's pretty big is shoutouts don't do as much as you think it does. What I mean by this is, if you don't even have the foundation built, if you don't have the work ethic, if you don't have the understanding of YouTube and its environment, if you haven't taken the steps that I've said before and actually have put in the work, then getting a shout out from someone, even someone as big as PewDiePie, it's not gonna do anything. You may get a couple thousand, couple hundred viewers for a while, but people are gonna stop watching your videos once they figure out that you're bad. This one's a little advanced, but I'm still gonna say it regardless, because if you do get to this point, then I think it's something to note. Don't sign with a network, especially in 2019. If you were a gaming channel back in the day, like 2010, 11, 12, like me, you had to sign with a network if you were a gaming channel, because that was the only way you could monetize your videos. So back then, networks were a lot... one, they were a lot harder to get into, but two, they were really scummy. They gave us really, really bad contracts because they had a lot of power. It was either you sign with us and you make money, or you don't. So if you do end up signing with a network, which you really don't even need to nowadays, but if you do, I would recommend getting a lawyer and looking at the contract before you sign it to see if it is actually worth you signing. Companies like Machinima back in the day, when none of us really knew about this and YouTube wasn't big, especially when it came to making a lot of money on YouTube because it wasn't really a thing. Companies like Machinima and a company that I worked with at the time, I think it was RPM Network, and then it got bought out by Disney, which their network was Maker Studios. A lot of networks like this used to make illegal contracts where they would bind you indefinitely so you couldn't leave the contract ever. That's illegal. Eventually people started to catch on once YouTube became bigger and making money on YouTube became more talked about. Point is, get a lawyer and read these contracts, have them check the contract to see if it's actually worth your time before ever signing something like that. And this goes with brands or other companies you're going to be working with as well. That's pretty much all I have as advice. Other small common sense stuff like learn what copyright is, understand the types of... It's pretty intuitive, very complicated, I guess, in the future. But these are the basic things I think you need to worry about or at least think about whenever you're making a channel. If you do want to make a channel, really the last piece of advice that I have is if you haven't made a channel yet, to actually go and do it, because there's nothing stopping you. I feel like the main thing that people, the main reason why people don't make a channel and start making videos is whether it's like, oh, I don't have a good computer, or I don't have a good camera or microphone. that goes back to the equipment part, where you don't need all of that, especially in the beginning, but you do have to be willing to invest money into upgrading stuff in the future, learning how it works, learning how a camera works, audio engineering stuff like that. So go out and make a channel. These are just my experiences being a YouTuber over the years. Please let me out. I've been suffering for so long. God end my suffering. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Shout out to the editor of this video. You did a good job, I hope. If you want to check out my main channel, it's GoldMine, links in the description. And if you want to support this network channel, the second channel that I've made, I made this channel to free myself to make content that I wouldn't usually make on my main channel. So if you enjoy these types of videos, then consider subscribing on Golven. And by that, I mean go and buy some merch at shop.goldmine.live. Yay! Do you like my Christmas tree? All right, I'm out.